When you think of St. Louis, fresh seafood is probably not the first thing that comes to mind. Let's face it, the Midwest is landlocked and is about as far away from the coast as you can imagine. Now, Italian food, that's not a problem, but when it comes to finding the high-end piece of fish or tableside service in an upscale setting, well, your options literally evaporate. As a chef, I need to stay curious in order to evolve. For me, that means looking beyond a good meal to learn more about who made it and what inspires them to cook.
La comida es amor.
Every great city has great food. I'm going on a journey around the world, right here in St. Louis. I'm on a quest to find passionate chefs who cooks from the heart.
It's exciting.
And I think it's the best.
To prove that food is love.
And it's gonna be delicious.
Food is love. Love your food. Today, my love for seafood has brought me to St. Charles. We are at Napoli Sea, and that's a new restaurant by the Pietoso family, and I can't wait to try it. I've only heard great things about it. The inside of this place is a feast for the eyes. This is the coolest restaurant. Decor here is fantastic. It's all sea. Instead of windows, they have these portholes. It's super cool, and the artwork they have here, all scenes from Italy. And this is a cool spot, the bar up here. I could totally hang out here, have a couple of drinks, eat a little caviar, charbroiled oysters. I'm meeting up with my friend Kai Pietoso. You might remember him from Season 2, Episode 1 of Food is Love, where I got to know his dad, Tony. Kai is spearheading this latest restaurant in the Pietoso line. Good seeing you.
Good to see you. Welcome in.
I'm so excited about being here.
Very excited to have you. And so this is Napoli Sea, the first seafood restaurant of all the Napolis. As you can see, it's a very nautical vibe. We have big LED screens, we have our wave walls, we have a lot of attention to detail here.
So did you sit at home in the backyard where I was one time and you decided that you want to open a seafood restaurant, or did you guys just come up with the ideas, or how did that come about?
I think it's two things. One, we love what we do, so that makes it easy when you want to expand. And number two, we have a lot of really good people that are helping us do these things. And so with those two things combined, it's a win-win.
When people come in, do they sit at the bar and have a cocktail and check things out? What?
Absolutely. So when you first walk in, as you can see, we have this beautiful diver's helmet. Right when you walk in. That's actually a tribute to my grandpa, who used to be a diver in the Navy. His nickname was Doc, so he would stay at the bottom of the water and he would make sure that everybody was okay. If there was an issue, he'd be the guy that would handle it. As far as sitting at the bar, we have all kinds of stuff. Tuna crudos, oysters, and raw char-grilled oysters as well. Octopus. We have lobster tails. You name it, we have
caviar.
Caviar, yes.
Okay.
It's been a big one so far. We didn't know what to expect, but there's no one doing caviar out here.
No, I know. I mean, where can you go and get a glass of champagne and caviar?
Napoli Sea.
Yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate luxury, right?
That's right. I am seeing a completely different clientele out here. I think there's people that are just really seeking out that fresh seafood.
What I understand is you have Dover sole, tableside, right? It's very European.
Yes.
And I mean, I've been here for 30 years. I don't remember anything in the Midwest where you could get that.
So for me, I grew up in this industry and I like that old school feel, just growing up, going into the restaurants with my dad, my mom.
Yeah.
I really like that tableside touch, and I think it just kind of got out of date, so I wanted to bring it back kind of more in that modern feel. It's really nice to be able to show these people that you can get that fresh seafood in the Midwest.
So what is the tableside choices?
So right now we're doing Dover sole, tableside. We do a Parmesan risotto. It's a risotto pescatore, so we're going to have risotto with a bunch of seafood, and we're going to finish that in a big Parmesan wheel. Really nice when we heat that Parmesan and that risotto soaks up all that cheese. That's a really nice one. And we do bananas foster as well, tableside.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go in the kitchen and talk to the chef.
Perfect.
I can't come to any of the Napoli restaurant without visiting Executive Chef John Berger. So what are we making?
These are crispy rice, so it's sushi rice, pressed down, made onto a sheet tray, then we cut them into squares. Kind of our version of sushi, so we kind of just put a little glaze on the plate. This is spicy tuna.
All right.
It's Japanese mayo, a little sambal, sriracha, lemon, and a little bit of soy.
Wow, that looks delicious. Awesome. As executive chef, John has played an integral role in all of the Napoli restaurants. Tony is fortunate to have him. How long have you worked for Tony now?
We're going on 25 years, I think.
25 years, wow.
5 years.
So you must be the employee that's been here the longest?
I think so, yeah.
He has a great work ethic, and it's always like no time has passed between us. Hey, it was good seeing you.
Good to see you.
Like all of the Napoli locations, this place is impressive. And after hearing Kai describe the tableside, I couldn't leave without treating myself to at least a little risotto pescatore. These cheese wheels are no joke. All right, that looks super cool.
Small amount of people are doing it. No one in Missouri that I know of.
Yeah.
But we have to get this wheel specifically out of Parma Reggio out of northern Italy. And we get it, we slice it in half. We melt the cheese a little bit so that way it's nice and moist for whenever we pour the risotto on top. And so when we soak that risotto into that cheese, it really soaks up into the rice. Has to be aged at least a year. It takes about 131 gallons of milk to make. And this is actually my favorite dish. This is by far the most popular dish here. And now you just let it really soak up that cheese. You have shrimp and clams and lobster.
Idea behind the restaurant is it's Italian cuisine, but it's totally focused on seafood.
All kinds of seafood. Any type of fish that you can find in Italy, we're going to have on our menu.
Yeah. You and your brother is kind of carrying forward a legacy here in St. Louis. You have just as much passion as your dad. When I first came to Cafe Napoli, that was the thing that struck me. I mean, here's an owner of a restaurant that is truly involved in everything.
Right.
And you and Andy are doing exactly the same thing.
Yes. Well, that's the way I learned. I learned that
Yeah.
if you want to be successful in this business, you have to be there. You have to get to know your guests. You
Yeah.
got to be present every day. And
So obviously, Kai, these fish, you get them flown in. Yeah, I mean, I know that's a job to get oversold.
it is.
It's tough. You know, it's the most priced fish probably in the world. And having the meal come together right at the table in front of you makes you appreciate it even more. Watching Kai doing tableside service, I can't help of thinking about his dad, Tony, whose tableside show at the original Cafe Napoli is the stuff of legends. This continuation of the family tradition is beautiful to see. A style developed and handed down in the Pietoso family that has helped cement their place in the St. Louis hospitality. I mean, the flavors are just incredible. Best of all, the king of Clayton himself, Tony Pietoso, stopped by to help me enjoy this spread. You done? Needless to say, everything is fantastic. Kudos to the Pietoso family. They've done it again for the 4th time. Created another great restaurant. And I know you're going to do very well here.
I appreciate that.
And it's super, super special.
Yes, I agree. I love it.
Yeah.
It's in my blood.
Yeah. Strange as it sounds, at the end of this evening, I can rest easy knowing that I was wrong. There are options for great seafood in St. Louis. At the junction of Italian and seafood, an oasis has arisen in form of Napoli Sea, where champagne and caviar still flows without reserve. Fresh seafood and exceptional hospitality has formed an alliance under the Pietoso name, serving the kind of meals that makes me say, cibo e amore. Food is love.